Welcome back everyone, my name is Echo and I hope you're having a great day. Today's Minecraft video, we are back on Minecraft Pocket Edition, the Bedrock version, for a very much needed update. Today, I can officially bring you 1.16.100. This is a full release, it's not a beta. It is available for iOS, Android, Windows 10, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and of course, PlayStation 4 players. Just check your store. It is coming over the next couple of hours. Actually, yesterday, Nintendo Switch had this update, which is quite a surprise because usually Nintendo Switch is one of the last platforms to get this. So this update is so important. There was over 130 plus changes. Unfortunately, we're not going to go through them all in today's video, but we will go through a lot of the positive ones, which I think are more important. There will be a link down below to the official changelog in case you guys want to check it out for yourself. So this is really good news because the full update is here. So many parity changes, bug fixes, optimizations, improvements, so many. Now, this is good news because now the Bedrock version, like Java, can focus on 1.17. So I have my fingers crossed that this week, Thursday, we should see a brand new Caves and Cliffs beta. Fingers crossed. So here's all the official changes. Like, when I say all the changes, guys, there is tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons. Like, that is literally how many there is. I spent 2 hours preparing a world for you guys, but again, the official changelog is down below. All right, let's get the game and let's check out the latest changes. Hold on, just before we do that, guys, if we go into settings and we tap on how to play and we tap on what's new, you should be faced with this to start off with. Again, I don't recommend reading this. It's just a brief description about the update. Like, hardly anything is mentioned in here in regards to bug fixes and what's actually changed, but this should pop up. One other thing I need to show you guys, if we go to play, we go to create, and we go to this, and we go to creative real quick, we scroll down. Okay. So there's no sign of caves and cliffs in the experimental options, but this is a new feature, which is experiments. We have holiday creative features, creation of custom biomes, and additional modding capabilities. I don't think these are fully active at this moment. It's more back-end coding for the developers, but when they do become active, this is going to be so crucial to Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch players. Forgot to mention that. Now let's get a game. So one of the greatest things, and I instantly loaded this world up, right? I always keep an eye on my recording software. In the older version of Minecraft, my frames would drop a lot. No problems at all. No problems with chunk loading. Here is just like a proportion of things that we're going to go through in today's video. So if you could be kind enough to hit that like button, it did take me quite some time to set up today's video, so everyone's fully updated with what has changed. There has a lot of add-on changes as well. So I think I'm still able to bump my render distance. So I think I'm able to go back to, I can go to 80 chunks if I wanted to. I'm not going to. It does cause a little bit of lag, but for the sake of this, I'm not needing to. Added new achievement screen design. Over a dozen new character creator items added, which can be unlocked via completing achievements. I've not checked out the new achievement screen, actually. Is it there? That's not the new screen. That is not the new, unless it is meant to be the new screen. I know these images look slightly different. I kind of like them, actually. Mini Steve and Mini Alex. That's meant to be a Ravager. That's like a jetpack. Which one's this one? Great view from up here. So the images have changed, but the overall menu has not changed. I really like the mini characters, though. That is something I do fully enjoy. They did a really good job. Look at the pirate one. Sail the Seven Seas. You've got the end ones. They must have took quite some time to get them done. So that's pretty cool. But it's definitely not the new menu. So that's quite confusing for me. Maybe not everybody has it. Unless it's because I have a couple of resource packs installed. Let me uninstall them real quick. No. I went ahead and literally disabled all of my global resources. They're not active. I'm using the default Minecraft profile, achievements. No, I mean, the images are updated, but this is definitely not the new menu. Maybe you guys have it. So I've seen a couple of people respond to the developers saying they don't have it. So it could be a bug. Okay, so moving on. Vanilla parity changes and fixes. Again, this is not all of them. This is just a large proportion that I think deserve to be mentioned. Sea turtles now play sounds when they lay eggs. So I'm going to put this on. There's always been a problem with sea turtles and eggs and stuff. I don't know if they're going to lay their eggs because it's daytime and they usually do it like on beaches. But if we give them this and we just like do a couple of these, I don't know if they're going to start laying eggs or not. I think it needs to be like, I think it's usually like nighttime, right? But anyway, they now lay eggs, and they now make sounds, like when they're moving their flippers. Dolphins now dry out at the same rate as they do on Java Edition, which is 120 seconds. Undamaged mending items no longer prevent damaged mending items from being repaired. This is one of my favorite features. Let me explain this to you. / game mode survival real fast. So what we have here is we have helmet, chest plate, leggings, and boots with mending, right? Now, what would happen is the mending would not prioritize the one that needed to be repaired. And in some cases, you'd have to take off all your armor and leave the one that needs to be repaired. Now, if all of these are repaired, even your pickaxe, the XP will prioritize this. So if I do / give @p bottle of enchantment, and we just do 64, even though I'm going to be holding my pickaxe, it's going to prioritize my boots. My pickaxe doesn't move, but my boots are now healed. This is such a good parity feature. So no longer are you going to have to sit at your XP farms and take off specific armors or remove your shield or anything like that. That is probably one of my favorite changes throughout today's video. And I'm going to take off my armor because we have other things that we're going to need to do in today's video. Let's go back to game mode. Creative. Continuing on. TNT no longer activates when a redstone torch is placed directly on it. So, not quite sure. I guess it's a parity change. Placing that on there. Okay, that's because, I just realized, that's because that is not touching it. But, without ruining too much of the terrain, we put it on the side. Let's put the TNT here. On top, no. On the side, yes. That makes so much more sense. Yes, it's not a big change, but again, if we want to start to match the Java version, these parity changes are certainly important. The next one, Netherright armor no longer takes durability loss when standing on magma blocks. So standing on these with this no longer takes durability loss. You will be damaged, of course. Ow. But in terms of my armor, that is not going to be damaged. Which really doesn't make sense, because if you're taking damage, that's a really weird one. I think that's kind of, I don't know, tit for tat. I feel like you should take damage and durability should go down because you're taking damage. So that's a bit of an interesting one there. Trade discounts from Hero of the Villager and Curing Zombie Villages now matches Java Edition. Phantom's wings now make flapping sounds. Brewing stand can now be crafted with Blackstone. So previously it was not possible to do this. Blackstone, don't forget guys, is the nether version of the Overworld's cobblestone. So that's a pretty good change. I'm glad they've implemented that. Continuing on, chains can now be aligned horizontally. So if you have this like this, they can go in this direction. I kind of like that change as well. That's just a simple parity change that we should have had when the Nether update was released anyway. Not quite sure why it took so long. Piglins now drop their inventory when zombified. Piglin brutes now give 20 XP instead of 10 when killed by players. Lanterns can now be placed underwater and do not pop when the water source block is placed on it. So, placing this in here, this does not pop. And I set up this world in 1.16.100 and I tested this and can confirm in the previous version it would pop. Piglins now offer similar bartering items in Bedrock as they do in Java Edition. There's been a couple of nerfs to some bartering options and some things have been removed. Go to the wiki page to refer to this. Soulfire no longer melts snow or ice blocks. Wither skeletons now automatically attack piglins and piglin brutes. Let's get a brawl going on here, shall we? So they instantly attack each other now. There's no waiting process anymore. I'm gonna have to kill whoever the winner is. Tell you what, these piglin brutes, they ain't messing. Hoglins will now flee from the respawn anchors. Iron golems now attack hoglins. So again, I've showed you all this in separate beta videos, so I'm trying to run through this as fast as I can. And we spawn you. Yeet him, yeet him. There we go, and again, do it again. Here we go. Ain't no messing with the big golem. Let's go / clear. Continuing on with the changes. If ruined portal chests contain glistening watermelon, they no longer contain only a single melon slice. Piglin brutes no longer have enchanted golden axes. All expected nether plants can now be composted, which is all of these previously could not be done inside of here. You can now put them all inside of here if you wanted to. Even the shroomlight, the sprouts, the roots, the warped roots, all of this can now be put inside of here. So, yeah, kind of all your useless crap has now become a little bit more useful. Soul speed enchantment found in chests is now limited to bastion remnants only, and the chests inside of there. Soul campfires now drop soul instead of charcoal when mined. Piglins can now equip shields, elytra, turtle shell, and mob heads. I didn't know this, and I'm supposed to check this out. So if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, and you, dude, look at this guy. Do you not want the shield though? Like, you can take the shield, bro. No. Maybe another guy wants the shield. Apparently they can take shields. They don't seem too interested. Honestly, seeing a zombified piglin with this is actually pretty cool. I really like that. That's something I didn't know. So even today, I've learned something new. Continuing on with the changes. And this is classed as changes. Added several new experimental toggles to enable previews of upcoming engine technology and support add-ons and marketplace content. I showed you that at the start of today's video. Added Mojang Studio splash screen on Android devices. No issues. Xbox One controllers don't work as expected when playing on Oculus Rift. Fixes performance instability. Fixed a crash that could occur during gameplay. Haha! It made it in today's video. Bet you thought it wasn't going to make it in today's video. Fixed a crash with shulker boxes in multiplayer worlds. If you stand on a shulker box, leave the world and rejoin, it would cause crashes. Fixed a crash that could occur if a player joined a game in a sleeping state. Improved reliability of Switch players joining other Switch games. So if you're on Nintendo Switch and you were trying to join another player on Nintendo Switch, there was issues. That's been fixed. Fixed a crash that could occur when a stunned entity loaded into the world. Optimized chunk loading and performances. And I can promise you, this is a very important and such a good change. You will notice the game loads a lot better. Chunks load a lot faster. You're not going to drop as many frames. Various bandwidth optimizations as well. So these are really big. Those, along with the Mending one, are some of my favorites. And you will see benefits across all the Bedrock version. General changes. Fixed worlds disappearing from the worlds list during a crash at Xbox at world start on Xbox One. The Beaconator achievement can now be reliably unlocked. The Archerer can now be reliably unlocked. 24-bit PNGs without an alpha channel are no longer accepted as valid custom skins. And I don't know what that means. I don't know why they've done it, but I did go over this in a separate video. Gameplay changes. Fishing rods will now correctly cast when close to a mob. End city loot chests once again generate correctly. Fix players and mobs not taking damage from berry bushes. Now, if we just go to game mode S, can confirm it's been fixed. It's about time, actually. It's been one of the most annoying, like, I mean, not annoying, actually, because you have to go through it like this, normally in survival. It took them a long time to fix that. Changes with mobs. Villagers no longer get locked into the wrong profession. Thankfully, they're working on villagers on Bedrock. They still need some work, though. They're not perfect. They do need some work. So if you have any bugs with villagers, please report them. Bees now leave their hive/nests after an allotted time in the end and nether dimension, because there's no day or night cycle in the end or the nether. Bees were not leaving. So what was happening is they would just stay inside their hives and nests after the first time. But now, things like 10 minutes, they will just leave. The next one, mobs inactivity timer is now reset when closer than 32 blocks from the nearest player. So that's all to do with how far away mobs are and disappearing and reappearing. Remember playing Minecraft when that was not a thing and how annoying it is? That's been fixed. Villagers from older versions now level up correctly when trading. Bees can now only exit beehives/nests through the air block. And I've explained this here. So we have Lanterns covering all of this, which means the bees have to come from the front. And since the update, this is kind of bugged out because I had it this way. Originally had it this way. So bees, no, it's kind of changed. Ah, okay, there we go. So bees will only enter and exit the correct way. So if we go to bees and we go to, let's just say Poppy for the sake of today's video, and we just place down a couple of these, whenever they're taking their nectar back, this means the bees will only come from the front. They can't come from the top because there's a block there, and they can't go through the back because there's a block there. So a really, really good change. Definitely good to see that they do that. I should probably do /clear real quick. You might not see it right now, but again, go and mess with it. I have tested this in beta and in full release, and it does work. So bees will now enter and exit from the correct way. Changes, blocks, fixed issue where some walls were not correctly connected on world load. And you just seen it there you go. All the bees are going in. And when they come back out, they're going to come back out from the exact same way they went in. Water from bubble columns now flow as it should. Fence gates now align with blackstone walls. Plants/crops now grow more consistently by chunk borders. Really weird one. Brown and red mushrooms can now be grown into huge mushrooms on Nylium. So previously, I don't know if it's going to let me do this now. Previously, these would not grow on there. Now, if we grab ourselves some bone meal real quick, and I tested this in non-beta. Sorry, in the previous version. That's not going to do it because of this. Grow. No? Still don't want to grow? Is this still causing problems? Maybe it's the grass around it. There we go. So yeah, they can be grown on that. And I think these can be silk touched as well. Something to do with the blocks previously not being able to be silk touched. Next one. Fix the bug that could cause falling blocks to duplicate Neuroportal items. Compass will now point the correct direction when players are inside a boat. Dropped items no longer float too low to the ground. Dragon egg now always drops when it is destroyed by an explosion. Totem of Undying now applies correct effect upon dying. Banner patterns can now be crafted in 2x2 crafting grids. Spawn eggs can now be used on underwater monster spawners. Realms added more detailed error messages with possible solutions when a world fails to upload to a realm. Fixed the crash that occurred when downloading large worlds from realms. Graphical fixed an issue with missing animation when damaging bamboo. Touchscreen input, chat, and commands UI element now has a darker border. Audio. This is a good one too. Music no longer interrupted when entering water in ocean biomes. You probably had the same issue. Whenever you're in water on the bedrock, it's like, quick, time for some ocean music. You could be in like a really, like, water in here, and it would start playing ocean music. That's now been fixed. Next one, reduced raid horn sound, because it was incredibly loud. But I can mention in today's video, guys, we do not have the sound sliders. They still need some work, by the way. A little bit unfortunate, but it will be coming at some point. Tons more changes. Read the change log. So I couldn't put everything in here unless you guys wanted to have like a 1 hour or 2 hour video, because there is literally that many changes. Parity changes, fixes, optimizations, and the list goes on forever. So I highly recommend reading the official changelog if you have not already. Again, it's down below. But I had to bring you guys an update video. So iOS, Android, Windows 10, Xbox, Switch, and PlayStation 4. Go and check your store. Go and update, because it's a very much important one. And yeah, if you made it to the end of today's video, give yourself a pat on the back. And I will catch you all in the next video. Bye-bye.